Hi, my name is Janet Gordon, and I'm here to present my Understanding Diversity Management Midterm Project. Understanding and managing diversity is more complicated than I initially thought. The author states that the need for meaningful organizational change and management practices that promote the inclusion of diverse workforce has become even more complex because of the necessity of the diversity in the workforce. It's very important to be knowledgeable about diversity and inclusion in the workplace because the way people are different affects the company's performance, employee production, and retention of experienced workforce. The problem many companies' managers are facing is how to make each employee feel valued, important, and respected. This is extremely hard to do when your workforce is made of minorities, males, females, other cultures, religions, and experiences. Where the U.S. was once considered a melting pot, where everyone blended together, we are now considered a salad bowl, where every individual is unique in itself, but together we blend things together. Companies have to consider how to make the work environment more competitive by utilizing and taking advantage of the multicultural and varied backgrounds, education, and work histories of all employees. Typically, people place others in categories based on group membership. Making assumptions based on stereotyping causes negative and segregation of employees. Some groups seem to have an automatic advantage. These groups are considered to be privileged just by who they are, what color they are, or what gender they are. The author states privilege is an unearned social constructed advantage that gives groups, members, and economic, political, and social powers that are not necessarily dependent on majority status. In American society, being male, white, able-bodied, and middle class is the ultimate privileged class. These individuals are viewed as having things provided to them based on just being themselves. I have seen the white male privileged class in work, and I do agree that men in general at the upper levels in a financial environment where I do work, they seem to make the decisions and they fall in line exactly with the privileged class. As world changes, behaviors of those in the workplace must change to fall in line and encourage diversity. Sometimes why people act, behave, or respond comes from their heritage, economic background, educational opportunities, religion, and gender. Historically, men have been deemed the more aggressive and, by nature, the more vocal of the genders. Women, if they are considered aggressive, tend to be viewed as negative by both men and women. But the one problem I see with that is for us to be at the level that the men are, we need to learn how they communicate and become more vocal with our ideas. A lot of women tend to have great ideas but not verbalize them. The men, on the other hand, do verbalize and therefore get the encouragement in they can identify with the bosses. Recently, our class was given a challenge to be involved with a group where we were the only individuals of our own kind. My choice was to attend a Baptist all-black church. I was definitely anxious when I was getting ready to go to the church, as I was approaching the church, and when I entered the church. I was identified immediately as somebody who did not belong there. I was the only white individual. Normally I look people in the eye and I am very confident with how I present myself. But in the case where I was the only one of my kind, I portrayed an anxious individual who was not confident, and I think by my own standards I let myself down. Normally I would feel in control and make eye contact with everyone, but because my cultural bias made a huge problem and brought me down, I was thinking things that were going to happen, and instead of enjoying the proceedings, I made it even more negative than it should have been. In conclusion, having had this experience, I would recommend it to others in every level, especially managers. If I could feel inadequate and insecure and less than confident, I can now sympathize with those coming into an environment that they could feel less encouraged. My hope is that I will extend my hand to those when they come into the work environment I am currently at. Thank you.